Like I say, there were a lot of things. For one thing, um, I knew that certain people were going to be a problem. Certain people weren't going to really care. They're going to be like, "Who cares? Who's going to stop us?" And they were going to think that no one could stop them. That they could do whatever they wanted until somebody basically put them down. And this was actually kind of a problem, like I say. And Rodney kept coming to me saying, "You're not. Stop trying to threaten us. We're not scared. We're not intimidated by you." And he just basically kept on going up to my face. And like I told him, I said, "It's already done. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't even matter who it is." I picked 5 to 1,000 of the worst offenders of people of existence, or at least of humanity, and I tortured them for 1,000 years. Whether that person happened to be Rodney or somebody else, I don't know. I said, and I did it from before humans or endoskeletons or most other life forms ever existed. I reached up into time and space knowing that certain things were going to happen, and I reached up and I grabbed those people and I just picked, and I had a couple other people picked from the top, and humans had nothing to do with it. Um, I mean, basically, Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon and a few other people realized that I was the creator of humanity, endoskeletons, and quite a few other life forms. And I found that there were some people in the way, and I reached through time and space and I grabbed them and I killed them. Well, I tortured them, then I killed them. I tortured them for a very, very, very long time, and these people were people that raped without consideration. These people were people that killed whoever was in their way for no reason, or just did whatever they wanted. And then I tortured them for about 1,000 years, and I did it about 50 trillion years ago. Anyway, somehow Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, and a few of the other worst offenders found out about this. That they were going to be tortured for because they had gone throughout their lives or whatever, and they thought that they could do whatever they wanted and nothing could ever stop them. And then they realized that I already had stopped them, that I had in fact killed them and then tortured them for a very long time. And Richard Nixon, Rodney Briley mostly, Rodney Briley was all over me going, "Where are they? Blah, blah, blah. We want them." Because, and it's like, why do you even want them? They are the most sick, disgusting, horrible, lying, killing people in existence of humanity of the planets. I picked about 5 or 1,000. It got up to about 60,000 though. There were, because once it got started, then there was a bunch of other people that just kind of really, but I mean, most of them I just killed. I didn't really torture them for much more than 120 years or something like that. But there were quite a few people that I was just like, "Look, now you're gonna get tortured, and that's it." And then I warned them. I said, "Do not do this. You should not do this. This is not okay to because the thing was that, like I say, they were stopping. They were making it impossible to do anything. They were killing anyone that had any kind of intelligence. They were, they were literally stopping existence. Um, as far as they were like, "This is it, and that's all," and as long as they were stayed in power, anyway, they were just a real big problem for everyone. And I was like, even if I didn't do it, somebody would. I mean, these people were truly bad, horrible people, and they truly caused a lot of problems. They raped whoever they wanted, they killed whoever they wanted. Like, they were a problem, and I grabbed them and I took them where. But the thing was, nobody knew that I had done it. And anyway, though, so it was just me. Nobody else did it, and it was about 50 trillion years ago or before, whatever. Anyway, Richard Nixon and John McCain, they thought, or some other people, they thought they could kill as many Jewish people as they wanted. They thought they could do whatever they wanted, and nobody could ever stop them. They were wrong. I had already known what they were going to do before they did it. And there were some other ones that were even worse. But there were about 1,000 or 60,000 really, really, really bad people. Not really, mostly 5 real worse offenders. Pretty much. And from about 50 trillion years ago or more, I simply went through and picked them up and then tortured the shit out of them. I tested them, basically. I wanted to know what exactly torture and abuse would do to the human mind and everything else. And I had a few questions of myself as far as what the really worst, horrible thing could do to someone. And these people were people that were rapists and torturers and killers, and they just did whatever they wanted, and they lied as much as they wanted, and they were just really, really, really bad people. And so 50 trillion years ago, I reached through time and space, and I actually, some of them I just killed. I was just like, that's it, you're done, you're mine. And I took them, and they were gone. And then, like I said, I had been in existence before humanity. I had been in existence before exoskeletons. And so I simply reached through time and space and grabbed them. And these were people that nobody really cared about. Nobody loved. They tortured the shit out of their wives. They tortured they were just like, we're in power and that's it. And I reached through time and space and I killed them. Or tortured the shit out of them. Or had them killed. Like I said, I had 4 to 12 races of life form types. And even after I was done, my other life forms kind of, because I did the universe a great service. And that was that. Anyway, so the American government, other aliens that just want to do whatever they wanted, I was like, you just want to do whatever you want. And that's like, if I didn't do it, somebody was. I just happened to be the life form that did it. So anyway, they want to know where they were. They want to know how I did it. And I was like, I did it 50 trillion years ago, long before anybody else. And I didn't tell anyone exactly what I did because I knew that people would be coming after me or would try and stop me or whatever. And besides, it was also an experiment because later on I was like, you shouldn't do this. I know you're going to do it anyway. But just so you know. And they did it. They got away with it. And then somebody finally told them who I really was. And it's like, well, I basically probably created the particles in the universe. And I was a very old and very powerful life form of trillions or billions. And I had been in existence long before most other life forms had ever come along. I had my play and my run of existence. Of time and space, and I had been here before almost anything before. So, I did some things, and basically some people who believed or didn't believe or whatever thought they could get away with it. Basically did a bunch of stuff, and they thought that nobody could stop them, and nobody knew about what happened because they killed everyone around them and did this and did that. And then they came to find out that I actually had existed, and I had actually already grabbed them and tortured the shit out of them and killed them. Or would stop them, or somebody would. Anyway, so they came after me. They came after anything I had ever created, which is kind of funny. I was like, it's really hilarious that you're going to go after anything that ever helped me or anything I ever created because you're one of my creations. I invented the human race and 1,000 other races, 1,000 other life form types. I was like, that's a good one. Exactly how does that work?